Where the hell you been? Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series where we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 144th episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as well as a 32nd episode of Season 3 titled The Sound of Dischordia. We start off at Angel Grove High School where Aisha and freaking Kat are squawking out a song about Angel Grove High at a keyboard with a comically sized microphone between them. Kat is frustrated that she can't get this harmony down, and then we just cut to see that Tommy is just sitting there, watching him like a pervert. He says it sounded good to him, but Kat says that she thinks that Aisha should get another partner. Aisha says no because she already entered their names. Not because she doesn't want you to not believe in yourself, Kat, she's just stuck with you. This is when Tommy finally tells us that this is all about like a school song competition. Then Bulk and Skull are screaming in the hallway, shattering the frosted glass on the door. They come into the room asking when they can use it, but they leave right away, and Kat says, forget it, I'll work on the harmony. Then we see the Space Skull, and Master Vile, who's apparently still around, calls forth a creepy monster. Aisha and Kat meet up with Billy, Rocky, and Adam, and they have a bunch of shopping bags, and Billy asks if they're using retail therapy to work out their anxieties about performing in public. But then Rocky says, no, they're probably just nervous. Are we now making it actual canon that Rocky is the stupid one? Aisha and Kat say that they both are nervous, but the others reassure them that it's going to be great. Then Bulk and Skull show up with a giant amp and guitars, and they say they're going to play a song for everyone. They start to do so, and they sound terrible, blowing up the amp while screaming over it, and people just get up and walk away. Yep, that's the whole gag. On the moon, everyone is piled around the throne as Finster introduces the monster from before, named Dischordia. Zed is really into her, saying how he's so glad to see her again. Dischordia calls him Zeddy, and Rita's clearly getting jealous over this. What a weird twist. At Aisha's house, Kat and Aisha perform their terrible song when they're interrupted by the sound of Dischordia outside, and they run out to investigate what's going on. They find the monster, morphing. Then Dischordia hits them with a ray, saying that she's going to control them, and Kat gets in a good joke about how since she's a tenor, she should sing 10 or 12 miles away from there. Now they're dancing in place and Dischordia has them under her spell. Alpha sees what's going on and Zordon tells him to tell the others to go help them, and they arrive right away, but of course now all 6 of the Rangers are under Dischordia's spell, dancing around with no power over themselves. It's actually hilarious because the stunt guys are clearly so not into this. Then Dischordia starts to finally show what the purpose of the spell is. She makes Tommy come closer to her, demanding that he gives her his power coin, so that she can take control of his Zord. Alpha sees this and Zordon says they really need to use their metallic armor. So Alpha beeps them about it, and now, for absolutely no reason, they're not under the spell anymore. Whatever, they call it the metallic armor, and I guess somehow they're freed from going back under the spell now? They then fight Dischordia and a lot of ghost effects hitting her back. Then they power down the metallic armor for no reason whatsoever. Guys, what if she starts singing again? Zed says, screw this, making Dischordia grow giant, and the Rangers freak out, calling out their Shogun Zords, and they immediately form the Shogun Megazord. Billy says everything is good to go as he gives a nipple twist to a dial, and now the Ninja Mega Falcon Zord shows up as well as Ninjor, who flies in on his trusty cloud. Then Dischordia calls on the power of the lightning around her somehow, and now it's dark and she's getting charged up. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this wasn't a singing monster in the original Japanese footage. She keeps getting charged and she keeps hitting the Rangers. To be honest, the Rangers really suck in this fight and they all fall to the ground. Who knew this dumbass monster could be so strong? Tommy says that he has to get to the Falcon Zord, and suddenly the Falcon Zord is just fine while the others stand up. Then the dark clouds go away for absolutely no reason, and the Megazords punch Dischordia before Ninjor goes into battle mode. Remember when he had to get really angry for this? Ninjor then launches a fireball at her, and the Rangers call for the Shogun Mega Falcon Zord, so they start firing missiles from their titties. Then here comes Titanus. Then the Ultra Zord is formed with the Shogun Mega Falcon Zord. And wow, this looks just as terrible as when they did this with the Ninja Mega Falcon Zord. They fire at her, killing the monster. I feel like this was like the longest, most nothing episode ever. Vile screams at Zed and Rita, saying that he's going to stay around and take the throne away from Zed. Anyways, back at school, a punk rock band plays a song about jealousy and how it's making you deranged. Seriously, how is this a contender for the school song? I mean, what the hell? Principal Kaplan comes up, and it's been a hot minute since we've seen him. Aisha and Kat come up and they sing the song in the exact same recording as before. I mean, I guess it's not bad as a school song? I don't know. We see the judges deliberating for a second, and Kaplan comes up saying that basically they won. Whatever, the end. Take that, Bulk and Skull, you don't even get to compete. Over the credits, we see cut footage of the Rangers dancing while under the control of Dischordia. This episode's pretty terrible, to be honest. I feel like they shot it all in a single day because, well, they might have. The giant monster fight lasted like a full half of the episode, which is super uncommon for Power Rangers. And it was super clear that Discordia's footage had nothing to do with this whole singing thing that they were attempting to shoehorn into the episode. The entire episode felt like it could have been cut down to like a total of 7 minutes pretty easily. And it's a shame because this is one of the last episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Seriously, is this how we're gonna go out? Next time, we'll be exploring the official final episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yes, 145 episodes later, we're here, but don't think the story is ending there. But we'll get there when we do. Until next time, may the power protect you.